Let's get this over with. Been here too long. Hey, you walk by me, put your mask on. I don't want it.
Good morning. I'd like to remind everyone to please make sure that our cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. And also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T U-verse, and the City of Gadsden YouTube. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivor Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Back.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Councilman Back to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we come to you today just with thankful hearts. We also want to be mindful and thankful of yesterday, which is our nation's Memorial Day, as we remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country and our nation, which was death on the battlefield. God, we pray for those families that still have a hard time with those deaths, Father, and we're just grateful for the sacrifice that others have made so that we could live in a free nation. Father, we ask for clarity of mind. We ask for courage to make the right decisions today, and we thank you for the ability to come before you to make these prayers and to serve this city. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on our agenda is Ms. Gaither. Is she available?
Busy.
Councilman William don't get his wish then.
And I'll stand up there and talk for 30 minutes. Because if we're gonna give garbage, trash, and grass that much attention, everything that she has to say.
All right. If Ms. Gaither comes in, we'll give her 15 minutes. But anyway, we'll give her as long as she needs. The next item is the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and council meeting that was held May the 19th.
So move.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be number saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
We don't have, it's not on here, but we don't have a proclamation, do we? The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payments of accounts for the week of May 15th through the 21st.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be number saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Unfinished business, we have none. New business.
Yes, Madam President, I have one. It's a request by the city clerk's office. It's a resolution to accept and administer a grant from the Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership in the amount of $40,950 with a 50-50 match.
Second.
Asking for unanimous consent.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be number saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move for adoption, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote? Is there any discussion?
Yes, ma'am, I'll make a discussion on it. It's a 50-50 split with the city's cost of $20,475, and it'd be for 42 vests, be for 35 vests and 7 replacement vests
Okay.
for the police department.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be number saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any more new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one, please. I'd like to ask for unanimous consent. It's an ordinance amending fiscal year 20 budget to move funds from a National Disaster Trust Fund to be used to purchase COVID-19 supplies, and it's budgeted for $30,000, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have unanimous consent for consideration.
Move to adopt, please.
Second. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Board reports, we had asked several members of our city to make some, just to give us some updates of what's going on in that particular department. We'll start with Ms. Moore, Kay Moore, downtown.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Councilwoman and council members. It's been quite a while since I've been here.
Yeah.
And I've missed seeing everybody. I think when we get together now, it's a good thing to be able to talk. I have, after I was asked to come, I actually asked several of my different, I asked restaurants, I asked the retail, I asked different people what they had. I said, okay, I want you to write something down so I can actually do this correctly. Because, you know, when I get up here, I tend to wander around a little bit. But I do have about, I think, 14 responses from this. I'm not going to tell you all of it. I'm going to read it all. But for example, one of my restaurants said they do just as many to-go orders right now as they were doing. But the to-go orders is what has gotten the restaurants by. So they're excited. They would really like to see. We have a few of the sandwich board signs out there, but they'd really like to see something that said, you know, pickup only. We've got a couple of pickup only signs behind Blackstone's and Jefferson's in the parking lot, but they said that would help them as well if we could put something like that. Don't know if we'd be able to or not, but we are using sandwich board signs right now for pickup only to go things. Another restaurant said that same thing. Their to-go orders are what have saved them. People are coming back in now, slowly but surely, but still they're doing more to-go orders than they were, and they are grateful for the customers who have supported them. So that's a good thing. I think a lot of the restaurants feel like people have come and bought lunches or dinners or whatever, even when they didn't necessarily need to, but just to support our locally owned restaurants. So. On a small retail business, one of our newer ones, they said that social media and curbside pickup have been great. They actually even did porch side drop-offs. If you ordered from them, if you were in the city limits, they would bring it to your porch and just drop it off for you. So I think that was a little creative that they were doing. They're still pushing social media to remind people that they're there, that we're here, and that we're still around. So again, curbside on another one. Curbside pickup's been great. And the support of the community has been incredible. We hear that over and over. Another boutique said that they were completely closed. They did a live show, and then they've been open a couple of days or a couple of half days, and so they're getting into it slowly but surely. This is the statement that I liked. I'm optimistic that we're going to get through this together. So that's been a resounding thing. Another little boutique said that we tried some different things. Not everything worked, but we do think that things are coming back. People are coming back in and shopping now. So even though hours are not what they were, they're a little bit shorter hours than they were, but they think as time goes on, they get back to their regular hours. Another restaurant said overall sales were down about 35% over the last couple of months, but then so were expenses. So a lot of people have said that it's been one of those things that they anticipated. They have done, and they've changed their ways. They've gone more to the curbside pickup and the carryouts and the Gadsden to-goes and that sort of thing. So it says we're still doing more carryout business than dine-in, but dine-in is slowly increasing. So that's a good thought. Another, one of our variety stores said when they were closed, they used that time to just do a deep clean of the store, and a lot of businesses did that. They deep cleaned, they rearranged, so when people did come back, it looks new. And so now that the people are coming back, one of the statements she made said, "We're so glad you're open." And she said, "So are we." So that's another good thing. And another one, too, said we've extended our hours now. They're staying open later. And then actually, they've been having people coming in later, so they're staying open even later than they normally do. So a lot of out-of-towners are coming in, and out-of-state travelers are coming in. We have a lot of people downtown from out of town. They come. I was downtown Saturday, and another merchant told me, he said, "You're the first person I've had all day long that's been from Gadsden." So we attract a lot of people, so people are getting back out again. I think, one of them said, "I think with more businesses opening downtown, we'll see more people shopping." So that's going to be it. Another one of the restaurants said, "Hey, we've fully recovered, even at 50%, or the mark off what you have to have is about 50% capacity. We're seeing profits started coming in now, so that's a good thing." One of our businesses was only open one day a week, and she did a great curbside business, and she said that, "I'm grateful more than you can imagine. Without the community support, I never would have made it." And then one of our smaller or gift companies said she's being very proactive about the community. She's using social media to keep up with things going on. She's projecting positivity and empathy. And that's been a great thing, I think, to customers, to people, as we talk to people, as merchants talk to each other. They're being very helpful and very supportive of each other. So everyone is implementing the safety measures that need to be implemented, so the customers hopefully will feel comfortable coming inside. If they don't, every single one of them is still doing curbside pickup. So that's a great thing. So those were the messages from the restaurants and the retail. We've come up with a couple of different things during this time, too. There was a slogan, "Small town, small shops, big treasures." That's become our new tagline. Small town, small shops, big treasures. Or small town, big taste for the restaurants. We're always encouraging people to shop local, to shop small businesses. And I hope that you've seen our new banners downtown. Shop local, unless you're from somewhere else, then shop here. That's the one that was my favorite. I stole that one from Greenville, South Carolina, I believe. No, it was Asheville, North Carolina is where I got that one from. The best place to shop is local, so shop here. Love Gadsden, be local. And then shop local, dine local, be local. We've got 4 new banners that just went up about the time this all started, so that's good. We are encouraging people to continue to shop. You know, small business can change more quickly than a big box. So has it hurt? Absolutely. Nobody has enjoyed what we've been through downtown. But have we come through it? Yes. And we've come through it together, and we will come through it together, and we'll be stronger than we were. And that's what I'm hearing from every single merchant downtown.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When do you think First Friday will start back up? Because I've been getting those
It won't be
questions.
June. It won't be June. We've talked about that a little bit. We're just going to have to wait and see. I think that, and that's something that I can use your help with as well. I want to be careful. If July the 3rd is the first Friday that we have, and we have 10,000 people in a 6-block area, there's no way we can social distance.
No way.
So I am not going to jump out there. I am going to ask for help from the city. My merchants, right now, they're not ready. They don't want to be put in the position where they have to make sure they're following the guidelines too. People don't have to come if they're afraid to come. I realize that. But I also realize that people, as this goes on, social distancing will become less and less. And we don't want to be the hot spot. So I think I'll say that we'll play that month to month. And as we go, we'll figure it out. But I will be asking for some help too.
All right.
You know,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you to not to want to jump out there.
Yeah,
Like
no.
you're taking this serious. A lot of people are not taking it serious. So
I'm going to
thank
be
you.
overly cautious is what my goal will be on that. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Wethington. Parks and Recreation.
Nice to see everyone. Did want to, after Ms. Tolles invited me to come give an update, I've jotted down what we have been doing in Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation closed facilities on March 17th to follow the guidelines set forth by the CDC and the State Health Officer. Closures included athletic facilities, fishing tournaments, playgrounds, trails like Black Creek Trails, walking trails at James Martin Wildlife, Riverwalk Trail, parks with walking trail throughout the city remained open. Coosa Landing Boat Launch remained open with users using the boat launch recommended to use our honor box to pay their $2 fee. On March 19th, we terminated over 88 non-full-time employees to help assist with the financial crisis that we knew was upcoming. Full-time staff worked hard in this period, continuing the senior nutrition program at Carver and Elliott, with litter pickup in all of our parks, upkeep and landscaping throughout the city of Gadsden, including Nakalua Falls, and the parks and recreation facilities, worked on the athletic fields, maintaining the athletic fields with grass cutting and spraying, cleaning and disinfecting centers and buildings, and fielding calls for rescheduling rentals and programs or issuing refunds. To this date, we have over 40,000 refunds issued through Parks and Rec and numerous rescheduled activities for later in this year. We canceled over 10 events in the months of March and May. We postponed the following events. The Coosa Landing Super Bass Tournament will be held on June 20th. Summer concert, depending on guidelines and new regulations, are hopefully starting in July and then will last to October. Barbarian Challenge is August 22nd. Wheels on the Hill is August 28th through the 30th. Smoke on the Falls, September 19th. Art on the Rocks, September 19th through 20th. And our Kids Fishing Rodeo will be rescheduled when we have better guidelines set forth. We will start our summer food service program for the kids that are 18 and under on June 8th. We'll have 16 sites this year. We usually have summer school, so that has less than some of our sites. On May 1st, with the guidelines easing, Coosa Landing Store, Nakalua Falls Park, and Nakalua Falls Campground reopen with limited hours. The Farmers Market opened Friday, May 22nd at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and will be hosted every Friday at Fifth Street Market. Staff continue to be shifted to assess different areas and reopen these facilities. A general example of this is our community centers have went and helped with our senior nutrition. Our athletic staff helps cover with Coosa Landing and litter pickup in the parks like the Boardwalk and Jack Ray Park. Rental facility staff is either at the campground or at the paid portion of Nakalua Falls Park. Landscaping has helped weed eat and upkeep Forest Cemetery when they are able to. We all pitch in whenever it's needed, wherever it's needed. Since the governor's new guidelines were released on Thursday, May 21st, for the 22nd and June 15th for athletics, we have been working with the mayor and plans on continuing reopening the areas in Parks and Recreation. The main concerns are the following guidelines set forth in rehiring staff. We're working on public works with signage for the playgrounds and other areas on the new guidelines. And the new guidelines do have a lot of stipulations with them. Playgrounds can reopen, but there's a lot of stipulations there. Same with rental facilities. Athletics can have practices now, and games could start June 15th. Community centers could reopen, camps can open, and events can happen. Closed are the programs still for our vulnerable people of 65 and older and individuals with underlying health conditions. For everything to reopen in Parks and Recreation, we have to have the ability to rehire staff. And that's what the mayor has been really working on really hard, is figuring out when is it financially able to rehire our staff, and that is going to come with the reports from Lisa Rosser in the finance department. We can't reopen safely without more staff, and I do know everybody is working hard on this process. So to open areas like Marana Park, the train, the petting zoo at Nakalua Falls Park, and the community centers and athletics, we must have more staffing to do this. We are keeping up and doing as much as we possibly can, and we do have plans set forth for when we're able to have staff come back and join us.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Could I make a comment? We won't know probably for another month or so what our figures are on money. And at that time, we'll be trying to work some of these things out to open more things up. But, the governor opened everything up, and she's done a good job, but she didn't send us no money to open everything up. So it's just a work in progress till we do it. So we'll let everybody know as soon as we can.
Okay. All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Baker. Next week. To the, for the end.
Good morning, everyone.
Deal with our council.
Currently, the Community Development Department is staffed by me. My staff was laid off in March also. They're non-full-time employees. Did receive word that they will be coming back June the 1st because we do have this new special allocation of CDBG CV funds. And I will be needing their help to start this utility assistance program that we're going to do with that. Speaking to that, the utility assistance program, the portion of that money that we will be using for it, this is new to us. This is new to the city. So it's new territory. We're working really hard behind the scenes to get everything put in place and get everything set up. At this point, we have the application ready. These are still HUD funds. We must abide by the HUD income guidelines and regulations, so it is going to be for use by persons that meet the HUD income guidelines. So we will have that application ready as of June the 1st. I've had 1 million phone calls today. I had 1 million on Friday over the weekend, and we had lots of people here in the building this morning asking about the program and the assistance. So I've been telling everyone just to bear with us a little bit. We'll have it all online June the 1st. The application will be ready. They'll be able to complete that. Mr. Wright has said he'll help me with that and get that online so they can actually go online, complete the application, and submit it online. If they don't want to do that, they can complete it and print it and mail it to us, or they can drop it off in the lobby here in City Hall. We're going to do these by appointment. Once we get those applications in, they can submit them, we can review them, call the applicant, get a little more detailed information from them. They will have to supply us with a copy of their driver's license, state-issued driver's license, or another form of ID. They do have to provide proof of all income for everyone in the home and copy of the utilities that they are requiring assistance with. We can provide up to 3 months of delinquent utility assistance, and it will be a one-time thing. If they come to us, we assist them, then that's it. We're going to try to help as many people as we can to be equitable. That's why we're doing it this way. There'll be a $600 limit per household also. So are there any questions?
Go over again, you said they had to have proof of, I heard the driver's license, they had to have proof of, ID.
Yes, it's some type of ID. If they do not have a state-issued ID, then we will have to have another form of ID for the applicant. And we have to have a copy of all their income for everyone in the household because HUD requires us to go off their gross monthly income. That's before any deductions, taxes, or anything are taken out. That's what we determine. It's the number of people in the home, and their gross monthly income is what determines eligibility. Yes, sir.
Will they be able to pick up an application up here, because the elderly may not go online and stuff.
Right. They will be able to pick one up in the lobby. They'll be available in the lobby here in the front of the building when they come in the door. We'll have something set up there for them with applications. There'll also be a drop box for them to return things in if they would want to do that, or they can mail it in. And some of the utility companies, we've already talked with them, some of them will actually have the applications available at their offices also.
Do you know right off the top of your head the income amount that they cannot make over?
No, sir, I don't, because it does literally depend on the number of people, and it varies.
Okay.
You know, it goes from this limit to this by the number of people, up to 8, and then we have to calculate it ourselves past that point.
Okay.
But that's how they have it set up.
All right, thanks.
Basically, if they're on Social Security or limited income, they're going to qualify. If they qualify for our housing repair program, they're going to qualify for this program.
All right, thank
Anyone
you.
else? Thank you.
I know that I had asked Ms. Rossa for a financial update, but she's going to wait until next week, and that way we'll have the complete month. So that's the reason why she was not here, so she can give us a financial status of where we are. If there's nothing else, I'd just like to make an announcement that due to the Memorial Day holiday that was yesterday, well, Monday's trash will be collected today, and Tuesday's route will be collected on Wednesday, and there's no change for the routes on Thursday and Friday. Yes.
I want to say one thing. Up until 2 weeks ago, there was not going to be a Memorial Day remembrance of our fallen who gave it all. 2 weeks ago in that time frame, Donnie Moon came to my house and he said, Ben, I'm going down and buy a wreath and I'm going to walk it down there to go by myself. And I said, no, hold it. We started with 2 people. We picked up 3 or 4 more and 3 or 4 more. We picked up Dixon Hayes, Michael at the Times, Katie at the Messenger. And yesterday, we had the memorial service up there at the old Emmaus Park. About 50 to 60 people showed up, I think, Dixon. And it was one of the most rememberable programs that I've ever been to. It was simple, very simple. Billy Harris gave the prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Mitchell Chastain. And then we had the national anthem sung by Kim Battles. And then Rip Reagan did the taps. And it was absolutely, in my estimation, one of the best ones we've ever had. Short, to the point, remembering our veterans who have fallen. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. So just a couple of quick items. We didn't have the benefit of an update by Mrs. Gaither with the EMA today. A couple things to point out. 238 confirmed cases for Etowah County and 11 deaths. So again, that was as of this morning at 10 a.m. So still opportunities for us to continue to be safe, practice social distancing, and continue to keep our hands away from our face and wash our hands and sanitize at a very high level to make sure that we're not propagating the spread of this very contagious disease. She noted in her last situational update that the need for N95 masks continues to be critical at our hospitals. For those of you that don't know, we only have 243 beds, hospital beds in the county. So we've got 2 hospitals, 243 hospital beds, and at this point, it's unclear if we have any critical care beds available. So we have to keep that in mind as we're talking about the economic impacts, as we're talking about reopening our cities and state. We have to remember that at its core, this continues to be a pandemic event. It's a global health crisis. And we have to remember that, and we can't get too out of balance as we're pulling together strategies. We need to continue to let our public health care officials take the lead, stop following politicians and allow public health care officials to take the lead. That's who we need leading in this very critical time. And again, what I want to say is before we start spending any of our taxpayer dollars, and I'm saying this not as an elected official, I'm saying this as a taxpayer. Before I want a nickel of my taxpayer dollars spent on garbage, on trash, on grass cutting, or anything of that nature, I would like to see the critical needs at our hospitals, our assisted living facilities, our nursing homes, the PPE for our first responders. Those are the critical needs. That's where our spending needs to go first. To start a conversation about garbage, trash, and grass cutting in the midst of a global pandemic, to me, is really irresponsible. And I think at the end of the day, I understand where people are going in terms of what they can see and what they're experiencing in their communities. But this is bigger than what you can see and what you're experiencing in your communities. So again, please understand that the needs at our hospitals, our nursing homes, the needs for our first responders, the people that are putting their lives on the line every day, those are the tough decisions that we're having to make as elected officials to make sure that we're taking care of those people first, that we're making sure that they're safe. And again, I think that is very important. The second thing is, before we get chatty about some of these things in terms of grass cutting and garbage and trash, let's remember that we have a census, 2020 census, that we're being asked to respond to. Right now, Etowah County is to be commended at 62.4% response rate. The county is to be commended because we're pushing very close to the level that we participated at in 2010. But there's still work to do there. Gadsden is pathetic, 56.7%. The response in Gadsden is pathetic right now. We have gotten, and we will continuously, we see it on social media all the time. We continue to see people. And again, I want to thank the Gadsden Times for a very thorough and comprehensive article that came out over the weekend. We continue to press our local municipalities for services and support with things like garbage, grass, and trash. But when we're asked as citizens to go out and simply participate in a 5-minute survey that could help draw legislative representation, that could draw federal funding, and a number of other things, we sit on our behinds and do absolutely nothing. 56.7% is disgusting. We've got to do better. We have got to do better, people. We've got to do more than chat and yap on social media. We've got to get out and act and respond. We've got to get out and act and respond. We need that much from you. We need that much from you. So again, let's continue to drive that response over. And as it relates to the poor response areas in my district, I want to really encourage the folks along Hood Avenue and Hope Street to complete your census survey. Complete it either online if you have the ability to do so, or reach out for support. Someone's willing to come out. There's also drive-through events that are happening across the city that can help and support you respond to that. So that's very important. If you're wondering why this council and elected officials across the country are continuing to talk about the census response, it's because it's so important for us. It's important to make sure that we receive adequate representation and the appropriate level of federal funding as it relates to our area. I think that's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Councilman Wilson?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to, I agree 100% with Councilman Williams about the census. I've been harping on this for a while. District 5 continues to lag behind the county average, specifically in a couple of tracts right downtown. So please take your time, fill out the census. It's critical for what we're trying to accomplish for a lot of reasons. I'll also respectfully offer a rebuttal, I'll say, to the comments about garbage and grass cutting. I agree that the paramount issue facing our community and every community in America right now is COVID-19. I also think it's a bit of a false dichotomy to say hospitals are trash. I don't think it's an either-or scenario. Yes, of course, we need to make sure that our hospitals have what they need, but it's not a scenario to where every dollar we spend on grass cutting would have gone to buy masks for hospitals. I don't think we're in that scenario right now, financially speaking. I understand, and I agree, maybe we shouldn't spend an hour talking about grass cutting and garbage. But my philosophy is, let's spend an hour talking about grass cutting and garbage and then spend 8 hours talking about coronavirus issues. It just requires more work on everybody's part, I think, to meet the challenges that we have as a community here. And for the record, I applaud the office of the mayor. I applaud the Parks and Rec Department, the Public Works Department, everybody involved in this effort. I think we've done a great job and we're doing everything we can. I don't, however, think that means that we just have to let it go. I still think we have to talk about it and we still have to address them. And a lot of times, some of the biggest innovations in the history of this country, and certainly on a private business level as a business owner, happen in times of crisis. So my motivation for this is I feel like it's a tremendous opportunity to dust off the book that we've been doing the same way for a while, maybe with some things, and look at a new, fresh way to approach it, because when those challenges are presented, you're expected to rise to the occasion, and there's no doubt in my mind that everybody in this city has the ability to rise to the occasion. So I just want to be clear that I'm not being dismissive when we talk about trash, and I think there's, again, we could appropriate our time more accordingly, I think, and spend more time talking about those hospitals and making sure that the neediest people in our community have what they need. But that doesn't mean necessarily that we don't talk about the rest. But other than that, I want to, again, to reference Kay Moore's comments from downtown business owners. I know there are a lot of business owners in this community who have been negatively affected by this, but I also know a lot who've said that their numbers are up. I know for a fact we've talked about the numbers from Walmart and some of these other big box retailers being up dramatically. I know for my small business, it started out as a very, very scary time where we laid off individuals. Probably about 75% of our staff, almost 80% of our revenue went away. Now, because of this, and this is a good example of what I'm talking about, we pivoted to some new different business models that we didn't necessarily have any interest in before. And not only do we have that revenue now, it looks like our standard revenue is coming back. So I'm still optimistic, like Kay Moore said about so many downtown businesses, that not only is our economy going to come back, but it's going to come back stronger, and it's going to end up being a better thing for most people in this community. So I look forward to those days. So thank you again for everybody, what you've done to get us through this. And I think we're going to come out on the good side. Thanks.
Councilman Cannon.
Thank you, Madam President. I just think that all our departments are really doing a good job with the people we have, but, there's always room to change some stuff. I mean, as a council, we need to change some stuff up here that we do. Everybody's right. We didn't need to talk about grass and all that stuff for an hour, but we had to. Seems like we always get to it. That's what comes up to us all the time, houses and grass, but we need to kind of venture out and try to get our thoughts towards something else, like COVID-19 and our money situation the city has. Folks, I just don't think we're going to have a lot of money to do anything with for a while. I don't think our money is going to come in here like it left. I just think it might be 6 months, a year, could be 2 or 3 years. And this council might not never see it back the way it was when we first took office. We've done a lot of things I think, we can be proud of. I was talking to somebody the other day, 12, 13 years ago, all the stuff we've done, and it took about 6 weeks, maybe, or 5 weeks for, all this to turn south on us like that. It's not anybody's fault up here that happened, but I just think we need to be concerned about our money that we're going to be taking in, the money we've got, the money that we've lost. I know Ms. Rosser's going to tell us exactly next week how much money we've lost, but, it's going to be in the millions. We know when Goodyear left, we lost that money, and I'm thinking 3 or 4 million more besides that, but, she'll let us know for sure. I want everybody to try to stay safe, try to be kind to everybody when you're out, and just keep your faith in God. He'll get us through this.
Councilman Worthy.
Yes, Madam President. First, let me make an announcement. At Shiloh Baptist Church on Thursday, they'll be giving away produce items in boxes again. We gave away 500 this last week on Wednesday. We also gave away masks and, thanks to Jason, the hand sanitizer. And we will be doing that again. They ordered 1,000 boxes this time, so hopefully we'll get 1,000 boxes in. We'll know today whether it's 500 or 1,000. So it's supposed to start at 11 o'clock at Shiloh, right on Tuscaloosa Avenue, across from Carver Community Center. But get there early because we started early last time because it was a long line, and it went quick. Took about an hour and a half. But get back to what the councilman was saying, Mr. Williams. Like Councilman Wilson said, it's not either or. We should be able to do more than one thing at a time. We got over $600,000 from the federal government for the CDBG, and we buying equipment with that. Then we just took $30,000 out of the disaster relief fund to give to EMA to buy more masks and equipment. So we can't I treat this grass, I know a lot of people don't think of it like I do, as a safety issue. When you living next door to one of these lots and you got rodents and snakes and stuff crawling out of that lot into your house, I have one lady in particular had to hire an exterminator because the rodents was coming out of the lot next to her, getting into her house. And if a snake get in there, and bite them, parts of the snake, then it's gonna cost more money. So I think we should use the money to use some of this money to do the lots, not just the city-owned lots and the state-owned lots, but the privately owned lots, because we were getting money back from them. Like I said, we got over $40,000. But I wanted to use some of my discretionary money, and I was able to use it to put up a light. So it looked like to me I should be able to use it to as the same token is to cut some of these lots in my district. That's the main complaints. I stayed on the phone with a lady this morning for over 30 minutes talking about lots. So until you live next door to one of these lots, and I live next door to one, but thank God it's a city-owned lot, and they keep it up, and they spray it. So, and I know about a snake because I got a snake that came in my yard from over there, and I've been trying to kill it for 3 or 4 days, and we ain't been able to kill it, because it's in a hole, and we burnt the hole, we poured gas in it and everything, so hopefully I won't see it anymore. Put snake away down. So I understand what these people in my community is going through, and as long as I'm here on this council, I'm gonna fight for it. You may not want to hear me talk about grass, but damn it, I'm gonna talk about it. Because it's important to my people, and I get complaints, and I'm gonna bring it to you all, whether you wanna do anything about it or not, but I'm gonna definitely talk about it. Thank you.
Councilman Back.
Thank you, Madam President. Just want to say a heartfelt thanks to Kay Moore. Kay, you're so good at what you do that I think we all, the whole city, we just kind of expect it and we're just used to it. So thank you for your leadership downtown. The signs I've seen, the banners are really nice. It's very positive. It's very uplifting. I think your leadership down there has really enabled and allowed our merchants to continue the path that they're continuing in such a hard time. So thank you so much, not only for just during this pandemic, but for, oh my goodness, what, the last 12, 13 years, however long that you've been leading downtown. Everybody talks about it, not only in Gadsden, but from all over the state. You've won numerous awards, the organization has, so thanks a lot. I'm proud to say I'm from Gadsden and proud of downtown Gadsden. It's very nice. Want to echo Councilman Williams. The Census 2020 is just, it's never been more critical in the history of Gadsden than it is in 2020. The loss of Goodyear revenue, the loss of sales tax revenue due to Goodyear closing. We need as much federal money as we can get. It's predicated upon how many people will fill out the census. It's all about numbers. I've been working with Craig Scott, our library director, who's directing our city effort, along with Cody Jones, who's the Northeast Alabama director. And we have some pretty finite information. Well, they use my district as a guinea pig, and that information will be forthcoming to all the other council members. It's going to allow us to get a closer snapshot of our areas that aren't being successful. And then we can craft a plan out of each neighborhood to go and talk to these people in some kind of a manner or fashion to let them know that we know that they haven't completed the census, and to try to educate them on how critical it is to get this data done so we can have as much federal funds as we can have, and also for the political ramifications of possible lost seats. Food announcement, First Baptist Church Gadsden at the corner of 5th and Walnut, 2 o'clock every Wednesday. We have a food giveaway. I think we're using the same, starting this Wednesday, tomorrow, the same produce that Shiloh Baptist Church is using. And not sure exactly. I know we gave away 2,000 pounds of food, of groceries last Wednesday. I'm not sure the tonnage that we're going to have this week. But in the foreseeable future, every Wednesday at First Baptist, at the corner of 5th and Walnut, we're going to be giving away groceries until the program just ceases to exist. I want to agree with Councilman Williams about the pandemic. You know, nothing has changed scientifically, health-wise, or data-wise from 2.5 months ago. There's still a virus called COVID-19 or the coronavirus. There's still no cure. There's still no antidote. There's no vaccine. There's no pill. There's no shot. So nothing has changed. What has changed is dire economic consequences from closing down. And our nation, state, and county and city has responded to that by what you might want to call a soft reopening. And we're doing that for the economic reasons. There's still a pandemic going on. Every time I go out, wherever I go, it's almost like most of our citizens don't think that there is one. I fully understand the argument. Some of my closest friends don't wear a mask, won't wear a mask. I'm wearing a mask. I think it's the thing to do. I think it's what I need to do for my family and my wife that has asthma and things like that. So I'm trying to be protective. Plus, I don't want to infect anybody in case I'm asymptomatic with this disease. So nothing's changed. It's still the same disease. It's not like when the governor said go back to normal or whatever, that the disease went away. It's still here. So everybody step back, take a thought about that, and think things through before your actions may cause you or other people problems. Great article on this topic in AL.com. It's basically the city of Huntsville versus the city of Mobile, two similar sized cities. Read that article and it might give you some information that could be helpful. There's been two different paths taken. So now we're able to look at history to see what those choices meant for those cities. And it's pretty stark differences. Other thing, I want to thank Public Works and Mike Hilton for the work they're doing. Really hard times right now. See Captain Keener in the back. He's been helping with the speeding problem in Clubview. Thank you very much. All the citizens that have spoken with Captain Keener are very positive about his comments and his heartfelt desire to slow the speeders. Y'all, we're going to, as a council and as a city, we're faced with some pretty hard decisions coming up. It's already been alluded to. A pretty large lack of revenue that Gadsden is going to encounter that we did not budget for this calendar year. It just wasn't in the budget to not have a good year. They had a contract through 2022. And so we're going to have some hard decisions to make. It's going to involve cuts probably. It's going to involve a different way of thinking about revenue. In short, we have to decrease our expenses and increase our revenue. That's what we're faced with, and that's what we're going to have to do. And we will do that as a mayor and as a council and department heads. That's what's going to have to take place. Councilman Cannon alluded to it. It may not get back to the normal rates for the next 2.5 years. But we're going to have to make those choices and those decisions, and I think I can speak for this council and mayor that we'll make those decisions. It may not be exactly what we want to make, but we'll have to make those hard decisions, and we're going to do it with you, the citizens, and this city in mind. That's our first concern, and then everything else will have to get in line after that. Things may look a little different. So just pray for us as we pray for you. Let's all stay safe. Let's all be smart. Let's social distance. Let's think of others before we think of ourselves. I don't like wearing this mask. It itches and it's hot, and I prefer not to wear it. I think sometimes it makes my ears look funny too. So I don't enjoy it, but I'm thinking of others when I wear my mask. Thank y'all very much.
Council President Toles, if I may, please. Councilman Worthy, do you see all these ladies out there in the audience out there? All of them out there has probably either got a husband or a father or a brother somewhere. And myself, I want to apologize for the word he said a while ago to each and every one of y'all and the people listening. That little word, I mean, I just want to apologize.
You don't
for
have
what
to
he said.
apologize. You didn't apologize before when the other councilmen have said a bad word up here, so don't
Well-
apologize on my behalf.
Well,
Thank you.
I want to apologize to y'all.
I didn't even give you all permission to talk.
Thank you. I'm through.
Back and forth, back and forth. Mayor,
Yes. I just want to say one or two quick things, and I know I say this a lot, but not enough. Mercedes, Honda, a lot of those companies, I talked to some of the plant managers, they're starting to work towards opening back up. One problem has been not getting parts from Mexico, but if they do start opening back up, if you have somebody who wants a job, and there's pretty good paying jobs and benefits, you need to get in touch with them, and we will start posting all this stuff where the different plants and numbers and all that is. And another thing, if you have some kids that are teenagers and 18 and above, or even older, they need to be going to Gadsden State. We have about a $40-something thousand auto technology center over there. Will teach you how to do anything on a car, and that's the way you get a good job. We also have a, let me see if I can find it here, I got so much stuff. We also have Career Tech at Gadsden City High School. We got about a $3.5 million building there. Go learn a trade. The plumber was at the doctor's, I've told this before, doing a job. When he got through, he gave the doctor the bill, and the doctor said, "My goodness, that's more than I make." And the plumber said, "I know, that's why I quit practicing medicine and started plumbing." So go get a job. That will help us more than anything, and it will help you too in the long term to take care of yourself. And you've heard those say in the twilight zone. I feel like we're in it. You can't make this stuff up, but we're gonna fix it, I hope. That's all I gotta say.
just got a text from Mrs. Gaither, and she just said she got her days mixed up. She's tired, and I'm quite sure she is tired. So probably.
Certainly earned that.
Yeah, so she, that's why she didn't show up. It wasn't deliberate. She just, she just forgot.
I told her Deborah did an extremely good job.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
I would just like to thank the different departments and areas that came and did an update and gave us a report. Next week, we'll have a report from the airport. We'll have a report also from IDA. We'll also have a report from engineering. I believe I asked Mr. Williamson if he would bring an update on our projects that we've been doing. And also, we'll have one on finance. And then we'll take off next week. Ms. Iva, number 11 down here on this agenda, we'll take that off for next week. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.